Now, it didn't take long after the woman who accused Judge Brett Kavanaugh of sexual assault for her to be viciously attacked and threatened. In fact, Christine Blasey Ford's lawyers told Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley in a letter that the university professor had been effectively forced into hiding after receiving violent messages targeting both her and her family. Her lawyers wrote, in the 36 hours since her name became public, Dr. Ford has received a stunning amount of support from her community and fellow citizens across the country. At the same time, her worst fears have materialized. She has been the target of vicious harassment and even death threats. As a result of these kind of threats, her family was forced to relocate out of their home, her email has been hacked, and she has been impersonated online. So, I want to show you what the right has been saying about Blasey Ford. Let's take a look at some clips here from different Fox News shows. Take a look.
Christine Blasey Ford. Her story was revealed in the Washington Post yesterday. She alleges that back in high school over 30 years ago, that man, Brett Kavanaugh, accosted her. She was assaulted.
You don't automatically necessarily need to be believed. You have to have evidence and credibility to be believed.
An 11th hour effort to derail Brett Kavanaugh's Supreme Court nomination tells you everything you need to know about today's left.
This has all the hallmarks of an 11th hour character assassination.
11th hour attempt to smear, slander, besmirch the character of Judge Kavanaugh.
11th hour political hand grenade.
They wanted this to come out right before the vote. That's why, Tom, wake up. Just like they did with Justice Thomas.
This was in the early 1980s. It's now 2018. She was 15 years old. She's now 51. There is ground for some suspicion there.
Law enforcement would view it very, very skeptically because of the passage of time.
What took them so long?
Desperate attempt to try last minute to derail Judge Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation.
It's just the timing of it that a lot of Republicans are questioning now.
She had repressed her memory supposedly till 2012, but it was when he was up for the Supreme Court that suddenly the stakes got higher.
So it makes one wonder if this was timed.
It is fair to question the timing of this.
The timing here is very suspect.
Why now? Why didn't this come out earlier?
I don't think there's any denying that this is unusual.
Somebody has to know what her reputation was in school. Was she known to be truthful, honorable, honest? Well, how about her former boyfriends? I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, but if you're going to go there, then let's go there.
Wake up, Tom. Wake up, Tom. Wake up. Look at the timing. Again, they're talking at first, oh, it's 11th hour, it's besmirching, whatever. Now, why now? Why now? Why the timing? I mean, why when he's up for a Supreme Court seat? Well, isn't that a good time for this? When you have somebody who's going to get into a position of power and be able to decide landmark rulings when it comes to women, especially reproductive rights? That'd be a fantastic time to be like, oh yeah, this guy would not be good for women. And this is why. Because this is how he treats women, or at least how he had allegedly treated a woman back in high school, earlier. Oh, but the timing, there's been so many years. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that there was that we should just let people go for crimes that they committed in the past. Oh no, you murdered somebody 20 years ago? Doesn't matter. And I'm not saying it's the same thing. Of course, there are gradations of things. Like, for example, Beto O'Rourke got a DWI like 20 years ago. Do we care so much about that? No, but this is sexual assault. We should actually care about that. I'm just saying. But here's the thing. This happens basically any time that there is an allegation against a Republican of sexual impropriety. And you wonder why people don't, speak out. It's because they get this treatment. I mean, Ingram, this tells you everything you need to know about the left. Yeah, because maybe we actually give a shit about women and don't just see them as political tools to be trotted out whenever it helps our narrative. I mean, we've seen it over and over. There are Republicans that pretend to care about women when Democrats are accused of impropriety, but when it's a Republican, they stay silent or they, circle the wagons. But see, this has an effect, right? You have all these pundits that immediately call this an 11th hour political hit job, when we haven't seen a shred of evidence to corroborate that at all. There has been no investigation. What we're saying is maybe there should be an investigation. And of course, the whole purpose is rile up conservatives, rile them up, whip them up into a frenzy. And there are some, of course, that do get whipped up, and then they start doing terrible things. The first day this came out, she immediately got doxxed. All of her personal information put up online. Doxxed on Twitter, right? And then you had people threatening her, going after her. And look, it wouldn't be such a stretch that if she didn't move around, if she didn't go into hiding, there might be people that start showing up at her house or her work, and who knows, there's a good chance that these same people could be armed. I mean, it's dangerous for her to even come out with these accusations. Not dangerous for Kavanaugh, dangerous for her. She's taking on somebody with power. And that makes you kind of think, wait, why would you ever want to come up with these accusations and make them when this is what you're going to face? Doubly so if those accusations turned out to not be true. I don't believe that they're untrue. I just think we need an investigation. And if the investigation clears Kavanaugh, if there is one, well, then I will completely accept it and issue an apology. But right now, there doesn't seem to be any evidence to suggest that she's not being truthful. And the question is, every time this happens, every time that there is these allegations of sexual assault or impropriety, they always ask, well, why didn't you come out sooner? Well, why would you put yourself in this kind of danger? Well, you wouldn't. Normally, unless you're telling the truth. And hopefully, we will find out the truth soon enough through an actual investigation. And that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping they look into this. I'm hoping they find a truth, whichever it lies. And so we can find out what really happened and the kind of character that Judge Kavanaugh really has. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.